to listen to the Lapped Traffic Podcast.
What is up, Lap Traffic Nation? Welcome to episode 287 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. I am your host, the Professor Brandon Crowd. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. 14 winners still hanging on there through 22 races. We need 3 more and 4 more. It is not looking good. But the crazy thing is there are 3 drivers out there that we may still have expected to get a win. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, all still winless. Wouldn't it be something if the 3 of those guys all picked up a win over the next 3 races or 4 races? I wonder what that parlay bet would sit at. Who knows? Maybe one of them will pick up a win this week at my home track of Michigan. I'm so excited. Cannot wait to get to the track this weekend. It's going to be crazy. It's one of the fastest tracks in Michigan. And hey, anything can happen during the second half of the NASCAR season. Experience the thrills, the drama, and the acceleration on the NBC family of networks. The push for the playoffs continues in Michigan this Sunday, August 7th, 3 o'clock Eastern Time on the USA Network. So make sure you're checking out the USA Network. Go follow NASCAR on NBC, at NBC Sports, all that good stuff. And come hang out with me at the track this weekend. I've tweeted it out. If you're going to be there, shoot me a DM. Let's get a little Lap Traffic Podcast fan group meet and greet going on. I'm going to have t-shirts. I'll have stickers, koozies, some other prizes to give away, all that good stuff. So if you're going to be there, let me know. But if not, tune in on NBC without a doubt. Episode 287, 13 shows away from episode 300, which is just crazy. I'm looking at 1 or 2 different ways of doing episode 300. And that's either closing out season 6 with episode 300 or starting season 7 with episode 300. Could go either way with it, to be honest, just based on the number of shows, weeks left, all that kind of good stuff. Knowing that I've been taking a couple off weeks here, which we've been going strong here for a minute. I think this is week 3 in a row. We'll have next week for sure, wrapping up MIS, and then the week of August 15th, we'll definitely be taking a break. But if you've got any opinions on whether I should do episode 300 to close out season 6 or to start season 7, let me know. Send me some ideas for the show. If you've got any, I could do a listener call-in show for some of the diehards over the last 6 years. Could try to get a list of guests that have all been on at some point over the last 6 years. All good options. Let me know what you think. Let's see. What did we do this weekend? Golf League Thursday. Only got 2 more Thursdays left. There's actually 4 left in the league. I will only be participating in 2 of them. So that's wrapping up. Friday, Lindsay and I went to dinner. Went and bought a bunch of Mega Millions tickets, which I'm still here, so didn't win the Mega. Congrats to the person that did in Illinois, though. Saturday, took Alden to a couple birthday parties. And Sunday, hung out, got the little kiddie pool for Alden, watched some racing, and went hibachi style on the Blackstone and whipped up some chicken shrimp fried rice, which was awesome. Had fun cooking that. It's the first time ever doing that, which was cool. Let's see. It's, as I said, it's MIS week. I'm pumped. I cannot believe it. It snuck up on me. Only having 1 race at MIS, normally June gets you ready for August, but here we are, lo and behold, August already. And man, it just means football's right around the corner, which is awesome. Cannot wait for that. But needless to say, it's race weekend for me. It's the first race weekend in a minute since last year at MIS. I am bummed that I have not gotten to a couple races outside of Michigan here. There's a small chance could make something else happen this year, but definitely next year. Plan on getting to at least 1 or 2 more race weekends without a doubt. But this weekend, if you are coming to MIS, if you're in the MIS area, come to Firekeepers. Friday night, 5:30 to 7:30. There is an autograph meet and greet with Joey Logano. Obviously, the main draw. I will be there. I'm more than happy to hang out. Maybe we can go sit at a blackjack table together, have a drink, whatever the case may be. I will be there on Friday night and Saturday, but I will definitely be there Friday night. So come hang out, meet Joey Logano, and have a good time there. Let's see. Tonight, of course, Jeff Striegle is going to be on the show. Jeff and I have been doing a pre and post MIS show for a while now, so we'll have Jeff here in just a minute, as well as Gus Dean, who's been on the show. He'll be making his third appearance on the show as well. I'm sure Jeff and I will cover everything this weekend from Indy. We've got Aaron Studwell doing the forecast and Lucky Dog Lapdown Fantasy, all of that good stuff. So I've long-winded this long enough. Let's get Jeff Striegle back on the line. All right, Lap Traffic Nation joining me on the line, making his 21st appearance on the show, one of the legendary voices on MRN. You'll find him at Berlin Raceway when he isn't calling the races, and you'll find him this weekend at our home track of MIS. Welcome back, Jeff Striegle. Jeff, how are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you? Hard to believe we're already back at Michigan. That means that summer is almost over.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like I couldn't wait for it, but that's the thing. It's like once it got here, then that means we're winding down. I mean, football will be back, which is pretty cool. Things are winding down. That's for sure, man.
Yeah, it is. It's been a great year, and I'm anxious to get to Michigan for a number of reasons. I think, when you take a look at the storylines that have developed over the course of the 2022 season with the new car and the way the drivers have responded and the teams have responded, and now we come back to the big 2-mile Michigan International Speedway. This, I believe, is the last place that we will be going to now that these new cars have not been to. So I think there's a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of excitement going in.
Absolutely. No notebook for the teams here. I am excited to see what this new car does there. I think it'll put on a great show for us. I'm excited to see the fans pack the stands because, losing the race in June, people are excited. I think MIS is going to be a packed house this weekend.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I'm really impressed with the way that the Pocono race fans have embraced the challenge that they faced. We race up there twice a year. Yep. And then we cut them back to once a year, but 2 races. And then NASCAR said, yeah, we can't do that either. We're just going to give you 1 race in 1 weekend. But we sell out the campground, we sell out the grandstands, and it's just a tremendous event, and one that I know that the fans of Pocono Raceway look forward to each and every year. And my hope would be, Brandon, that the Michigan International Speedway fans will embrace this weekend the same way that the Pocono fans do it, and that is fill the stands and have a great, great event. And I'm sure we're going to have exactly that.
Absolutely. Real quick, before we get into a couple things, Jeff, I know you are a amazing blue, or no, you're not a amazing blue.
Ouch. It's all about the green and white this weekend. Right? Okay, you can go ahead and rewind and reset if you want to. But
no, we'll let that roll. You got to be excited. Tom Izzo and Mel Tucker are going to be co-grand marshals this weekend. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And yes, by the way, just to make it official, I am a Maize and Blue fan also. I just happen to be a bigger green and white fan, and you'll have that when your kids go to that school. So, whether it's Michigan, University of Michigan or Michigan State, doesn't matter. I'm proud of the state, and I'm proud of the schools that are a part of this state. And certainly having Michigan State there, I think, is just a really unique opportunity, not only for the racetrack, for the fans, for the school. Tom Izzo is a legend, certainly and I think everybody knows that. I think most everybody probably knows exactly who Tom Izzo is.
Yes.
He's a basketball coach for Michigan State University. And so when he decides he wants to show up somewhere, that's big news. And to have him at Michigan International Speedway to, do the whole Grand Marshal thing and hang out with the fans, that's just big, and that's something I'm looking forward to. And yes, if I know he's nearby, Brandon, I'll probably go try to track him down to say hello.
Awesome. I would hope that you would. It's funny, a couple of weeks ago, I had our new track president, Joe Fowler, on, and it was the first time I ever talked to him. And my first question was, I started very serious. It's your first time on the show, and I'm going to need you to settle a debate. This is, something really serious. And everyone needs to know maize and blue or green and white. And he busted out laughing and would not commit to one or the other. So,
well, that's a true politician, right? He's the president. Why commit when you're a politician and you don't have to? So, no, I'll tell you what, Michigan, I think, is really and I know you didn't ask me, but I am going to sidetrack for a minute.
Sure.
I think that Michigan International Speedway fans and NASCAR are truly in for a big opportunity with Joe now in charge. I like the direction. I like the communication. I like the ideas. I like the focus, and I like the passion. I think Joe is going to be a great addition to Michigan International Speedway, and I'm sure he's looking forward to this weekend more than anybody else, probably coming in a little nervous, but at the same time, this is his new home, and, this is where he's going to make his mark. And I think a lot of people are ready to see just what kind of mark he's going to make in the sport.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. All right, Jeff, real quick, how cool was it to see trucks at IRP? First time NASCAR there in quite a few years. I thought they put on a hell of a show Friday night.
I think they always do, no matter where they go. But yes, I do. I understand the question, and yes, they put on a great show. And it was funny because Alex Hayden and the Bagman and Moody and Posty and we were all kind of kicking around. I guess it might have been at Pocono, and we were talking about what was up next, and that was up next for Alex and Baggy, and I'm not sure who all went now, but we were all just kind of reminiscing about when the last time we were there, and obviously, as we all know, it's been a long time. Yeah. So we were all excited about it. I watched the race from here, and Alex and Mike were there and said that they could not have been more pleased with the crowd, the reaction, and just to be back. I mean, they just put on a great show no matter where they go, talking about the truck series. But it's just, I think that track is just one that needs to be on the schedule every single year, period.
Absolutely. Yes. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Absolutely. All right. So a lot of debate, lot of talk on social media about the Indy road course. Not a lot of in between. You had people that loved what they saw on Sunday, and you had people that, were vocal about not being a fan of what they saw. I thought it was pretty good. It was really entertaining. Things got a little crazy there with some of the restarts and all of that. Last year we had the turtle issues, third time's a charm. I think you got to go back there and run this at least one more time there. What do you think?
Well, this is a tough one, right? I mean, it depends on what you're looking for out of the sport. If we're looking for side-by-side beating and banging action, then we got to go to Martinsville. If we are a true road racing fan, they probably like Formula One, then they probably like what they saw, at Indy. But I think that's why it's so divided between I love it, I hate it. The racing there was marginal. Other than the restarts, like you said, but, restarts going to create racing no matter where we go. It was exciting. I think everybody knows this, I happen to truly enjoy road racing. So for me, I like it. Yeah. But I also understand when somebody says they don't, because if you grew up as a NASCAR fan at Richmond, at Bristol, at Martinsville, Daytona, Talladega, pick a track, then you like oval racing, you like them wheel to wheel, you like them side by side. And that isn't what we saw, obviously, this past Sunday. So, I can see both sides. I think that when you are talking about NASCAR is the best stock car drivers in the world, okay, then put them on a road course. And it may not be the most highly entertaining race of the entire season, but it does recognize talent. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's only one driver who wins, and everybody else is chasing them. And when you look at the drivers and the way they came across with the top 5, if you want to know who our sport's best road racing drivers are, go back and look at the top 10 at Indy, because that proves hands down who has that type of talent and who doesn't.
Absolutely. I'm with you. Jeff, next week we can get into some breakdowns here a little bit deeper, but I want to talk about Tyler Reddick, our race winner this past weekend. 125 starts to get the first one, and then just 4 races for his second. It's no surprise once that first one falls, the rest seem to come a little quicker. Some interesting news about him and his status, not for 2023, but 2024. But that team went out there and, in my opinion, made a statement, one about survival, 2 about, hey, we're not going to be lame ducks for the next 40-some races that we've got left as a team. And, I mean, I thought that was pretty strong.
All right, so I think it kind of lays out this way. Tyler Reddick, he has talent. There's no dispute about it. To see Tyler win and then win again didn't come as a surprise at all. To see other teams want him to be a driver for their team, no surprise at all. To see him have to go through a season and a half before transitioning over to 2011, now that's the surprise. Right? And that's that's what has me scratching my head. I don't know how that's going to work. In fact, I don't know. We've seen relationships fall apart before the actual end of the contract. In other words, if for some reason Tyler wasn't going to make the playoffs next year, could you see him move sooner? Don't know. And obviously we can't speculate on the contract. Have no idea.
Sure.
What would keep him from moving sooner, or what would keep him in place all the way through the end of the year. But of next year, of course, but there's no doubt that the whole thing just seems really strange.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, as well as I do, the last thing a team wants to do is work with somebody who could potentially take that information to a competitor.
Sure.
Well, obviously, they got a year and a half's worth of information that's going to need to be shared among each other before the day comes when they shake hands and part ways and move in different directions. So I don't know. I find it highly interesting, and I'm quite interested to see how the whole thing shakes out by the time we get to Daytona in a year and a half?
Yeah, I'm with, you expect this announcement a year from now, not a year and
Correct.
It was just, I'm with you there. And I'm excited to track that info along with you as we go out the rest of this year and next year. That's a really crazy thing. All right, Jeff, you mentioned it at the start here. This is the last place that the new car is going to be debuting at. What type of race do you expect to see? Do you expect to see like a Fontana or California? Do you expect to see a little bit more pack style racing like in Atlanta? What do you think we're going to get this weekend?
Yeah, you're a smart man. I was going to fashion it after Atlanta. I don't think it's going to be quite Talladega Daytona, but I do think that it's going to be more in line with the Atlanta Motor Speedway and what we saw there. But then again, how do we know? Everything that we're saying right now is completely, speculation.
Sure.
So I do think we're going to see them running pretty close together. And again, that goes back to hopefully making that other half of the NASCAR fan happy, the ones that say, I want to see them running wheel to wheel the way we used to do it at Michigan. That would be a nice surprise for everybody. I think starts and restarts are going to be insane. And I just don't think that we're going to see a leader break away from the pack and drive away by 6, 7, 8 seconds and leave everybody in the dust. So I'm looking forward to it. Does it still have the potential to be a fuel mileage race? Certainly. Nobody likes that, but I think you have to at least keep that in the equation. But I think what we're going to see on Sunday at Michigan International Speedway is going to be highly entertaining.
I'm with you. Do you think it might resemble a little bit that random Monday race we ran in 2019 that Joey Logano won? Like that? That's kind of what I'm envisioning that this race possibly looking like a little bit.
Well, once they drop the horsepower, which is something that, and I get it, here we go again. Some are going to love, some are going to hate.
Yeah.
When they dropped the horsepower, I knew that we would have better racing at Michigan. High horsepower absolutely allows everybody to spread out, and we saw that. The racing was not good there. But you know what? We could set new track records and be the fastest track in all of NASCAR at 206.4. Jeff Gordon several years ago after they repaved it. It created horrible racing. One groove, the only groove right in the middle of the racetrack. But when you're going that fast, you have to run that groove and that groove only. And we saw, I just said it, we saw horrible racing.
Yep.
When you drop the horsepower and you run 185, 189, somewhere in that neighborhood, don't know what they're going to run this weekend. We'll know come Saturday after practice and qualifying. But when you slow the package down, the cars come back together. And so based on that, I do expect the cars to run pretty close together. The speeds are not going to be anywhere near 200 plus miles an hour. And to me, that's okay.
Sure. I'm with you. It's still going faster than we can down, 69 or 94. So,
Brandon, I've said it before. You've heard Moody say it before. You've heard a lot of people say this. You go ahead and sit in the grandstands and you tell me how fast you think that car is going. And unless somebody is telling you, you have no idea.
Right.
A car comes by at 185 miles an hour. The first time you see that car, you look at whoever you're there with and you go, holy cow, that car's flying.
Yep.
You send the next car out and they go by, make it 2 minutes later. You send that car out and it goes by at 200 miles an hour, and you would have no clue that car was running 15 miles an hour quicker.
Sure.
So, I know that there's a lot. Everybody wants to go fast, and I do get it. Racing is about speed. How fast can you go? But there is a point if you're looking for pure racing enjoyment, or if you're looking to see how fast they can go around Michigan. I mean, let's face it, we know that if we wanted to create a race car, a NASCAR stock car to go around Michigan and set a new track record, we could do that easily.
Yep.
I'm sure they could run 220, 230, probably without even breaking a sweat.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that would be cool to see.
Yeah.
But it would only be cool to see one at a time, because if you put them on the track, all 36, it's going to be a very, very boring and not very entertaining race. That's just my opinion.
I'm with you. All right. 7-race win streak for Ford. They keep that up. Someone got something to say for them?
Well, I mean, if they're going to keep it up, they're going to have to turn their season around. If Ford has been non-existent.
Yes.
I'm quite surprised. Team Penske has been okay, no doubt. Joey's, you know what? We always do this, or at least I say it this way. I don't think I'm saying something that a driver wouldn't say. Joey Logano's not going to give his team an A+. He's just not. Why would he? They're not.
Yep.
Cindric and Blaney, they've been good at times, but they're not an A+ performing team right now. Stewart-Haas Racing, what are you going to say about that?
Right.
They're not an A+ team right now. And again, this is not a crack on them as individuals. This is just how they stack up right now against the competition. And if Ford is going to continue the win streak there, you would think that the win would come from one of those two camps. Kevin Harvick has just been non-existent of late, and He's shown some signs of being brilliant again, and then he shows signs as a team of not. So I'm going to just say, hands down, without even thinking twice, no, the streak does not continue. I think you're going to see a Hendrick Chevrolet in Victory Lane on Sunday. How's that?
I'm with you. I think it would be cool, Chase Elliott, to get the win. You know, it was a long time coming in Atlanta, and his dad, very successful at MIS. I think that'd be cool to see the 9 car in Victory Lane for the first time, to kind of have that, momentous celebration there, just with his dad's popularity
for
at
sure.
the track. All right, Jeff. Last thing for you, Berlin Raceway, man, you guys have been busy. You've had a lot of awesome events, and you got a fan appreciation coming up. Hit us with all that good stuff.
Are you stalking us on Facebook? How'd you know that? We've got a couple of cool events, so as long as you're going to tee it up, I'm going to take 2 swings at this fan appreciation Saturday night. Just an opportunity to give back to the fans that support us week in and week out. We're doing a first 500 people free admission. That the gates open at 4:00, so anybody wanting to take advantage of that is going to need to be there certainly by 4. We've got fireworks. Our limited late models are going to be running. We've got drift cars that have really been something that have been a huge hit among the fans. We can go racing side by side, then we take a quick break and we put drift cars or burnout cars, burnout competition cars on the racetrack, and the fans love it. So that's that, but I will tease this. You're going to see William Byron, Eric Jones racing at Michigan International Speedway this Sunday. They will be at Berlin Raceway on Tuesday and Wednesday. It is the biggest super late model show in the country. $30,000 to win, and we're going to have a full field. Bubba Pollard, Hocevar, Ty Majeski. I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'll stop right there. But we have a couple of very, very big shows coming up. And and I'm going to say this to you, but to anybody else that's listening, Brandon, if you want to get over to the Berlin Raceway, I think we are down to 6 events remaining on the calendar. Hard to believe, but again, it just goes back to how we started. You know, when we get to Michigan International Speedway, we know the summer is almost over. And when we get to Michigan International Speedway, we know that the Berlin Raceway season is also almost over. So unfortunate, but we start looking at fall and winter here. And like you said, we start looking forward to football and ways to kill time when racing just isn't happening every weekend here in the state of Michigan.
I hear you. All right, man. Well, listen. It was great to get you on for our annual pre-MIS show. Look forward to seeing you this weekend high up top the grandstands at some point, and look forward to recapping with you next week, sir.
You got it, bud.
All right,
you
man,
got it. I'll see you there. I'll see you there. Take care, Brandon.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Lab Traffic Nation, great to get Jeff back on the show. Can't wait to see him this weekend at the track and all that good stuff. Right now, though, it's time for a little Lab Traffic social media. Make sure you check out the website, thelabtrafficpodcast.com, Facebook, The Lab Traffic Podcast, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all at Lab Traffic PC. If you've made it this far into the show, leave a review. Tell your friends. They can listen on any podcast hosting site. Make sure you're following at Atlanta Racing and at the Throwback Brand for some great giveaways. And speaking of new followers, we got Freaky Fast Broadcasting at Freaky Fast. We got Griffin Banks at the Griffin Banks, a NASCAR, Bears, and WWE fan. I can relate to 2 out of 3, and I'm a Lions fan. I'm not sure which is worse at the moment. MJ Serralo at Driver of 54 Car, motorsports fan from Illinois. And Nick Polanski at Nick Joey Logano, big Joey Logano fan. Nick, come hang out Friday, Firekeepers Casino, and meet Joey Logano. If you're going to be at MIS, I am going to have stickers. I am going to have koozies. I am going to have T-shirts. I am going to have more. Yes, but if you're not going to be at the track and you want stickers and a koozie, I will send one to you for free. Just fill out the contact page on the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com, and I will get them out to you. And Lap Traffic Nation, don't forget, anything can happen during the second half of the NASCAR season. Experience the thrills, the drama, and the acceleration on the NBC family of networks. The push for the playoffs continues in Michigan this Sunday, August 7th at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on the USA Network. And make sure you're following at NASCAR and NBC, at NBC Sports, all that good stuff. We are going to keep rolling through here. We are not close to being done. Let's get Gus Dean back on the line. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, joining me on the line, making his third appearance on the Lap Traffic podcast. He's the driver, the number 55 with Venturini Motorsports in the ARCA Series. And in 3 starts in 2022, he's got 3 top 5 finishes, which is awesome. Welcome back to the show, Gus Dean. Gus, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. Ready to get back to the track.
Hell yeah, man. Gus, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. I think the last time was at MIS in the media center. I think it was you, me, Spencer Boyd, and Tyler Ankrum. So it has definitely been a minute.
Yes, sir. Pre-COVID.
Well, pre-COVID, yes. Well, pre-COVID. Definitely did something there in the media center, which is cool. Speaking of MIS, it's MIS Race Week. You've had some solid finishes there, both in the trucks and the ARCA Series. What is it that you like about racing out that big 2-mile oval?
I'm not really sure. Michigan's just kind of always really appealed to me. It's my favorite track on the schedule. It's always been the fastest place that we go to. And I think it's just kind of a combination of the drafting aspect that I really tend to like and do well in at the super speedways, in combination with, a normal oval track where you can battle it out. It's not entirely based on draft, like it is at the super speedway. So you kind of get a great combination of the two. It's 7 lanes wide, I think, as far as ability. It really doesn't have a particular line that's better than the other. So it really allows for some awesome racing and some, a lot of adjustment there as far as the driver is concerned, with being able to move the car around and get it right where the car wants to be that day.
Absolutely. So I'm bummed that the Truck Series is not racing there this year. The trucks put on a hell of a show at Michigan, but we are going to see the ARCA Series there as usual this weekend. Doubleheader on Saturday after the Xfinity race. What do you think we'll see in the ARCA race there this weekend?
I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've been there in the ARCA cars. I do enjoy racing the ARCA cars there over the trucks, just for the simple reason of, you're not as reliant on the drivers around you. In a truck, they take the air off of you and you're just kind of completely screwed all the way through the corner. Whereas the ARCA cars, they can still take the air off of you, but you can still move around and kind of fight your way back. I think we're going to see a lot of people going to be racing smart. It's halfway or getting to be halfway towards the point series. And I think there's going to be a lot of smart racing, but you're going to have some guys like me who I've had 3 starts this year. I really don't have anything to lose, and I'm trophy hunting. So, I think you're going to have a combination of the two, and we're all going to have to work together, even though we're on different programs and different schedules. And, Michigan is definitely one of those tracks where it's not over until the checkers fly.
Absolutely. And we've seen that time and time again at Michigan, especially in the ARCA Series. Working with Venturini, when you think of ARCA, you think of Venturini. Those two names go hand in hand. What's it like working with that veteran team?
It's great. It's great. I've always been close friends with the Venturinis. They've always been very supportive and very friendly and nice, and and helped us out a lot through my ARCA career, even though I was never on their team. But we always talked about it, and we always wanted to. And with running a limited schedule this year, I'm excited to be able to run some races with them, especially with Mr. Kevin Reed on top of the box. I've worked with him indirectly through several different occasions in several different years. But Kansas was the first time I got to race with him on top of the box, and I'm really looking forward to racing with him again in Michigan.
So you will you'll be on the grid this weekend?
Oh yeah, yes,
excellent,
sir.
Excellent. Who are you going to have on the car this weekend?
We have a Swedish company, or excuse me, a French-Canadian company coming in, and I'm not going to butcher the name, but I'll have that match by the time we get there. It's I'm really looking forward to bringing them on. This is the first time they've come to the NASCAR side, and looking forward to having them at the track and getting to show them what we can do.
That's awesome. We're seeing a lot of, unique ventures, I'll say, from a sponsorship thing, across all the series of racing, a lot in NASCAR, obviously. I mean, you look at AJ Allmendinger this weekend, who had an app for slot machines and all that on his car, to overseas ventures like yourself. We've seen a lot of Canadian companies. It's awesome the reach that NASCAR stock car racing is getting. With that's really cool. So that's exciting. Gus, I gotta ask you. You do a lot of mud truck racing. Chris sent me over some pictures. These things look like a hybrid of a pickup truck and a monster jam truck. They look fun as hell. Talk a little bit about that, how often you do it, where you do it, and race formats, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so the series is called Mega Truck Racing, and it's the best way I can describe it is a hybrid of motocross tracks and monster trucks. They're the car that I drive. It's a 31 Ford Coupe body style. It's on 60-inch V-tread tractor tires. It has a 580 aluminum big block with an 871 blower, run entirely on alcohol. And right now we have it
That's awesome.
We have it detuned right now to 2,500 horsepower at the wheels.
Wow, that just sounds fun. Like.
Oh, it's a blast. It is.
What I mean, you mentioned the Monster Jam. Like, is there some stunt behind it, or are you out there just running for lap times? Like, what's a competition or an event look like?
So it's a timed event that we race around the track. This thing burns 6 gallons of fuel in a minute, so it's not a very long race by any means. It's kind of a drag race through an obstacle course, if you will.
Okay.
But yeah. There is some big jumps. We'll get close to 15, 20 feet in the air. We have some 20-inch travel nitrogen shocks on it, so it's a nice soft landing as long as you land upright. And but yeah, no, it's definitely a spectacle for the fans. It's some big jumps, some high speeds, and a lot of horsepower.
Where are you doing those at?
We're doing them all over. Right now, we've run at a track called Twitty's Mud Bog, which is here in South Carolina. We're planning on running a few others throughout the coast. We bought this truck, and we've had some bugs worked out with the motors and stuff like that. I've raced Chevrolet small blocks my entire life, so running this 580 big block with a 871 blower and all this other kind of stuff, it's definitely different. It's taken a learning curve, but we're getting the truck pretty bulletproof now, and we're looking forward to adding a few more races to the schedule.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. You're going to be at Michigan this weekend. What else do you have lined up for the rest of the year?
So far, Michigan is it as far as the ARCA car goes. Sponsorship depends. If we get some sponsorship, obviously we're going to try to run some more.
Sure.
But we have on the schedule to run our pro late model and super late model some more, and then as well as the mud truck.
Awesome. Have you run Berlin?
I have. I ran Berlin in the ARCA cars the year before the truck series.
Okay, cool. That's all. I asked because I had Gus, your Gus. I had Jeff Striegle on earlier tonight, and obviously Jeff Berlin's near and dear to his heart. So little MIS pre-show this week, which is awesome. Gus, you have a high respect for the military. You love to honor them. I got to ask, because I've got a near and dear spot for the military in my heart. What's your personal tie there with the military? I'm
an American, and we owe everything we have and everything we get to do to those guys putting their lives on the line. And I have the utmost respect for anybody that puts literally everyone in the country above themselves and puts their life on the line so that people like me get to do what we love to do and race stupid, strong mud trucks and really fast cars around in a circle. And they're the reason that we get to do it.
That is maybe the best response I've ever gotten. I love that. That's awesome, man. Listen, Gus, where can everybody follow you on social media and keep up with everything you got going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm at Gus Dean at both at Gus Dean at Instagram and Twitter, Gus Dean Racing on Facebook. And I have a small TikTok page for the mud trucks called Monkey Wrench Garage. But it's that's kind of handled by me. It's very informal and low key, but there's some pretty fun stuff on there.
That's awesome. I was I was talking with Chase Purdy last week about TikTok. Like, I have an account and I really haven't done anything with it. And I don't know. I can just go be an embarrassing fool on there. So I really haven't done much with it.
That's right.
Oh, man. Well, listen, Gus, it was great to catch up with you. I will be at the race this weekend. I will be doing something with Crawl in the ARCA garage at some point on Saturday. So I will definitely try to make a point to swing over and say hi to you since it's been so long.
Absolutely. Do that. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, best of luck to you this weekend. Great to talk to you. Good luck in the mud truck, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
We'll see ya. All right, Lap Traffic Nation, great to get Gus Dean back on the line. Go check out that mud truck series. Those pictures and video look really, really cool, and just something like, can I rent some time to go run that course? Because that would be a lot of fun. So, all right, let's keep things going. Let's get Mr. Aaron Studwell back on the line. All right, Lap Traffic Nation joining me back on the line. You can follow him on Twitter at RaceWeather, along with Brian Newdorf at NASCAR_WXMAN. After an extra week hiatus, welcome back to the show, Mr. Aaron Studwell. Sir, how are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm doing well, and yourself?
I am good. Yes, great to have you back. Newdorf was poking fun at me last week that he couldn't believe he did back-to-back shows, that I didn't cancel on him. He wasn't sure if he didn't submit the right paperwork to still be on the show. So an extra week off, but hey, it's MIS week, which is kind of your home track, but kind of not, just because you've got a big tie to Michigan. From a college perspective, a living perspective, and all that good stuff. So we're going to consider this your pseudo home track.
I'm like Martin Truex Jr. I can have multiple home tracks. I will own that.
There you go.
I like going to MIS. I've been to MIS once. Easy getting in, tough getting out. And I'll admit this. I felt it was such a long day going the day before because we had a funeral for a family member.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but then we're like, oh, yeah, it's Father's Day. We're up here, and do you want to go? I'm like, yeah, let's go. But we were all so tired and emotionally drained. I fell asleep. But one thing I thought was really, really good was the outside the track, the experience, the fan experience there. And I'm sure it's improved over the years.
When were you? What year? Do you remember?
Oh, 08. No, it had to be. It was 2011. Just I actually have Alex pictures, very young pictures of Alex back then in the track with his headphones on.
So it was either big smile. It was either Denny Hamlin or Kyle Busch. Your race winner, depending which one.
I believe that was Mr. Hamlin.
Mr. Hamlin. All right, cool. All right.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a place I want to get back to. And as you pointed out off air, with so many routes, so many ties back to southeastern Michigan. Friends still in the area, a lot of love for the region. So yeah, it's a place I want to get back up to, see a race up there. I think the next trip up will be Michigan football. Hopefully this fall, I want to get back in and see friends.
Excellent. Yes.
In Ann Arbor. Got to go back to Michigan, to old Ann Arbor town.
Speaking of good old A2, I'm seeing some preseason rankings, 7th, 8th for the Maize and Blue.
Okay, that's great. We go in, we're going to have a mini target on our back. I don't jump up and down because I remind people every year, Notre Dame's still number 5 in these preseason rankings. And I'm not sure, they're always overrated.
Yeah.
People are always overrating the name brands.
Yes, that is.
Nobody's going to come in and say, hey, University of Houston is 11. And again, I have not seen the numbers, but there's going to be somebody who comes in middle of the season. You're going to say, how are they 7-0? And do they really deserve? Yeah. So there's always surprises.
We said that last year. Who are we talking about that with last year? Because there was a team that was up there and I'm like, but are they? And it was a Big Ten team. I'm trying to think who it was.
We had Cincinnati in that role too last season.
Yeah. That may have been that may have been it.
Yeah, Michigan actually had a bit of a better start than I think any of us really expected.
Yes. And I mean, our first test is going to be a rematch of the Big Ten championship game at Iowa. That is that's
Kinnick's loud.
Yeah,
Kinnick is not an easy place to get to either. So yeah, trying to get into Iowa City from Metro is not always the easiest chore in the world. But no, it's a loud environment. It's a very hostile environment. It's going to be, depending on the weather, it could be just a good old-fashioned Big Ten game where it's going to be a grind them out.
Yes. Yeah. Something tells me that game might get flexed to a Saturday night game. But I don't know. We're obviously going to have our preseason pick'ems that have become annual tradition that people kind of like. Oh, what a great segue. Damn, I'm good. Kind of like the Indy road course that people either love or hate when we talk college sports. So
don't hurt your shoulder patting yourself on the back.
I mean, damn, that was an on the fly segue. So speaking of love and hate, people loved or hated the road course racing this weekend. What did you think?
And I've heard it's a thin line between love and hate.
Right.
And hopefully you don't have to pay royalty on that. Honestly, I understand the frustration a lot of people had. It's like, okay, anybody who says let's go back and race the oval again, you truly forget what the oval racing was about.
Right.
Okay, I want to just leave that right there. And you know what? I've seen other cars get around here without the absolute massive cluster F that NASCAR has seemed to have brought upon itself.
Yeah.
Although points to Ross Chastain, but I'm going to for doing that. Although I will take away a few points for lying about it.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
if you're going to say, because it wasn't cheating. Quote, they didn't say you couldn't do that. Quote.
Right.
So somebody actually said they thought about doing it. Was it Reddick?
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You know what? Kudos for that.
Yeah.
If you can't, you are making a right-hand turn in 300 yards, whatever the number is.
Mm-hmm.
You better start figuring that out.
Right. Yeah.
If IndyCar can do it, yeah, you want to go 4 wide, somebody's going to have to hit the brakes, and you can't blame the other person because you can't brake unless it's, like mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
that
like
was
we
awful.
saw. What a hit. Oh, man.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. Yeah, that was just,
that was...
Parker and then Larson. Yeah.
Larson. Yeah. Yeah. Just, bulldozing like, oh, man. And the replay, the hit on Dillon was even, looked even worse than seeing, when they first did the cutaway to it. Like that was scary.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It's amazing it happened, and it's amazing. It's good that everybody walked away from it, even though a little shaken up.
Yep.
I just think these guys got to figure it out. You want to say, hey, we're some of the best drivers. Okay, you've got 3 pedals in front of you.
Yes.
You figure it out.
Yeah. Yep. We've got a chance of seeing that this weekend, to be honest. With the way turn 1 is, with the way restarts are, if this race runs like we think it's going to run, kind of like Atlanta, that's part of the problem. If you don't have the package to allow passing, 5 laps into a run, and everybody's got to go get it up, on a restart, then that's
a fantastic point.
It's manufactured to a degree, and I get it, and we could deep dive on this, in terms of the stage breaks. Manufacturing stops in the race to reset, in case it's a snooze fest, in case it's, single file, 30 laps at Talladega until there's, 3 to go. It forces that reset. And
it forces people to stay close. I think it keeps people from getting so strung out that they're actually interested in competitively racing, because I guess if I'm a playoff competitor or in the playoff race, I need stage points.
Yep. Which is what we saw. Who stayed out? Chase Briscoe, stayed out to get that stage point. And strategic, right? If stage points weren't there, and let's be clear, not just stage points, but the playoff point is what was
right. Yep.
Chase Briscoe's running second. Chase Briscoe comes in and pits with 3 to go. It was because of the position he was in to go get the playoff point, and basically almost was a sacrificial lamb there in knowing that was going to throw off their strategy and determine that was more worth fighting for than a potential win of the race that they probably knew they didn't have. Let's go get that playoff point. That'll serve us potentially better, in 5 races. So,
then we're back to saying, hey, it was a good points race,
right? So. And hey, and just because you said that, I'm going to bring up what Striegle said a little while ago. Least we not forget that Michigan could turn into a fuel mileage race.
We don't have them, but I don't see it's almost unavoidable at times at Michigan.
Yes.
And I don't know how long the stages are, and that really is what plays into it.
Well, typically, and I have not looked, but typically the last stage is 100 laps, so that's 200 miles at a big 2-oval track, depending on, whether we get, the racing we've seen in the past, or if we get more like an Atlanta race, we may see it get strung out. I don't think we're going to. I personally
would like to see an Atlanta race, but I'm not sure the banking is going to play into that.
Well, see, so that's the thing, so how does that work from a groove? Like I said, it's going to be nosedives into turn 1. But
yes.
Once you get to that back stretch and once it fans out going into 3, coming out of 4, unless it's an overtime restart, to where that will be exciting, it has the potential to get strung out. But, hell, I know the fans are excited to get there since we didn't have a June race. It's been a full year since we've been to MIS. I'm amped. I can't wait to get there. I cannot wait. I'm going to give another a selfless plug, to the fact that come hang out with myself and Joey Logano Friday at Firekeepers. If you're making your way into the track for race weekend and you're on 94, you cannot miss Firekeepers Casino. Get out. Joey's doing a meet and greet from 5:30 to 7:30. I am interviewing him at 5:15, which I will have I'm so excited. I will have that on next week's show. I'll drop that in, and I'm very, very pumped to be able to get a 15-minute interview with Logano at Firekeepers, who have been great supporters of the show. They gave me a couple pairs of tickets to give away.
Nice.
I'm staying there the weekend, so I'll be definitely at a blackjack table and a 3-card poker table and a slot machine Friday and Saturday night. So I'm pretty pumped. So that's where you'll find me if you are there. You'll see me. I'll have some live traffic swag on.
Really? You got shirts and stuff?
I got shirts and stuff. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. Yes.
That is so cool.
I'm pumped. I cannot wait. All right. Well, all that said, what's the forecast? Are we going to see some racing this weekend?
You'll definitely see some racing this weekend. Friday and Saturday, mostly sunny, partly cloudy. Highs 80, mid to upper 80s both days. Sunday, and I honestly think this is going to be another situation where if they maybe move the race up to closer to the top of the hour, like they did for New Hampshire. Was it New Hampshire?
Loudon. Yep. Yeah.
Loudon. Yeah. That they moved it up and the rain held off until afterwards. It does look like there's a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms across southeast Michigan on Sunday later in the day. after 6 o'clock. So I think saying, hey, we move this to a 3 o'clock start instead of 3:20, whatever odd number NBC dictates.
Yep.
And I think it'll be good to go. I really do.
Awesome.
I think it'll be very much a case of we're watching the radar so you can watch the race.
Yep. Excellent.
I
tell you, when years past, pre-podcast, MIS race start times were 1 o'clock. Then they moved them to 2 o'clock, and 2 o'clock wasn't bad. But man, a almost 3:30 start. I have to get any race I'm at Victory Lane selfie photo in to cap off the weekend. The bummer is by the time that thing is over, let's perfect world, no weather impacted. We're talking about 6 o'clock. I may be in the car 6:45-ish, and then it's 90 minutes for me to get from my house to MIS. It's typically a good 2 hours to get out, which isn't bad. An extra 30 minutes is not horrible. US 12, there's always a jam before, you get back to US 23. So it's about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock before I get home. Which, I'd rather get home at 5 or 6 o'clock if it was a 1 o'clock start, but I digress.
True. And it's still light. So where are you watching the Cup race from?
Oh, I'll be in the press box.
Media. Okay, good.
Yes,
good.
Yes,
I wasn't sure if you had media. Good answer.
Yes. A lot of people stick around in the media center for the race. It's crazy to me how empty, and watch this year be like jam-packed, how empty the actual press box is. And for me, I don't know if it's just because I don't get to that many races a year, but I want to be able to see the track. I don't want to watch it on a TV screen. Mom. I'll at the stage break for stage one, I'll head down back across pit road, with a few to go, to get some pit stop action, all that kind of stuff. And then I'll make the sludge walk back, up there, and then I'll head back down, with about 10 to go, for the victory lane and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, that's good. Well, that's what I was saying. Pocono is the race I was thinking of. They moved up, and then the sky is just unleashed.
Yes.
Afterwards, I was at the Cup race, standing behind Brandon Brown's pit box when Jeb Burton had that accident.
Okay.
Oh my God! So I'm standing about middle of pit road, almost straight across from the start-finish line, and you hear it. And then everybody's running to the wall. And then all of a sudden, I'm laughing, but I'm not really making light of it. And you see, all of a sudden, you see Jeb's car on its roof going sideways on the truck.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like running out, not out, but to the wall. And then everybody comes and runs behind the box to see it on the replay.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. There was one other thing I was going to. Last year, MIS Xfinity race, Colleague Racing found Victory Lane. I would love to bring some luck to your boy Landon there.
Oh, so would I.
And I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on him to let you know of our interview time from about 6 weeks ago. So
dude,
I am going.
I will say this out loud, and maybe he's listening, but likely he's not. Dude, I text him once or twice a week. Hey, we need to talk about 2023. He'll read it. He has his reader seats on, which will now be off.
I'm tracking his ass down on Saturday. And,
yes.
Be like, hey, dude.
Well, you just take a little consolation in knowing it's not just you.
Oh, that's funny. Well, see, I'm just gonna have to get with Carly, and and she'll squeeze me in this weekend, I'm sure. Oh man, good times.
Good times.
Good times.
We did just sign another driver. We'll have an announcement on that Like next couple days.
Awesome.
Another one of the sports car series, and we're signing some more footballers, and we're growing.
But by footballer you mean soccer?
We do mean soccer, yes. I will say, and I don't think I've said this to you. I know I've talked to other people about it. I honestly think that we will organically grow into football, American football. I think we will have 3 clients that will be draft eligible for
awesome.
the 2023 draft.
That's
just a forecast. I honestly think, because we have such strong ties in that sector, I honestly think that will happen.
Well, that'll be cool, because then come 2024, as you've grown more, you'll be here in Detroit for the first round draft for the NFL.
That's a goal. I think I'm just about to put that on my calendar.
Awesome. I love it.
Sweet.
I got an email today that my season tickets were added to my account. So I mean, Am I sorry to hear that? Let's go Lions. Forward.
Did you get a jersey
field.
this year?
I did. Yeah. I did not get a jersey, but you know what I want? The
most expensive offense in the NFL. Oh, wait a minute.
Jeez. I do want a Hutchinson hoodie. They had
those are sweet.
Hoodies. Yeah, I definitely am going to wrap a Hutchinson hoodie. That is.
I hope. Sure. I would love to see him as defensive rookie of the year, and I think it's possible.
Here's the thing, and then we can wrap this up because I know we've gone on a tangent here.
That's unusual.
Right,
go ahead.
The sports book over under wins for the Lions is 6.5.
I would have guessed 5.5, and that's not even looking at their schedule.
And then if you go look at the schedule, there are easily 7 wins, possibly even more than that. But when you look, they play the Giants, they play Jacksonville. They've got the Bears twice, which are a mess. Minnesota's a mess. I mean, Green Bay's either going to be 12-3 or 3-12. I mean, I'm like, and then you look at some of the other non-conferences. It's like, damn, that's a hard. It's almost like Michigan at 9.5. I'm like, I mean, all they have to do is not lose 3 games. Like, I mean, and they only have 4 road games. Like, all they really have to do is win 1 road game. Both of those bets hit. Like, I mean, if only I was a betting person. I am not.
Wait a minute. You are a betting person.
I know. I have not made either wager.
Do I have to remind you what you said in the middle of the segment? You can find me at the blackjack table, 3-card poker, in the slots. And I'm really surprised roulette's not there, because I think roulette's a game where if you know the odds, you know how to play it. I think you can do really well.
If I am still up at 1:00 in the morning, that is when I'm at the roulette table playing my favorite NASCAR numbers and playing the first 12, second 12, or second 12 and third 12.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that is definitely a 1:00 in the morning game for me. Yep.
Okay. Well,
craps is a Vegas game. I very rarely play.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Only because I want so much action on the table, like. Where you can get a $5 craps table in Vegas, like downtown Detroit, your minimum bet on a craps table is 15 to 25. And it's like, damn, you play in the pass and you got your bet behind that. And then if you want to play something on the field, like it gets costly for 1 roll. So
yeah, it does. Yeah, it does that up.
Avoid the craps tables.
So one last betting thing, yes. Lions 6.5. You said, okay, easily 7 wins.
Yeah. The
one factor you have not taken into this
is that it's the Detroit Lions.
It's the Detroit Lions,
yeah.
Exactly.
All right, hold on. Let's see here. I'm gonna pull this schedule up real quick.
Okay.
And I am going to tell you why or where I think these wins are coming from.
Put your money where your mouth is.
I'm going to. I am definitely going to.
Okay, good. Okay.
And here's the thing. Here's what I'm waiting for. Again, another plug to Firekeepers. If you're a new user, you get a free bet of up to $500. So I am going to be if you lose your first bet up to $500, you get a free bet back. So I will be looking at seeing where we're at there. All right, here we go. We got the Eagles. That could go either way. We got the Washington football team. We've got the Vikings.
You've got to see. Okay, let's walk through it.
Yes.
Eagles at home or away?
Win.
No, wait a minute. At home or away?
That is at home.
I think they're going to lose that.
You think they're going to lose that?
I think they'll lose that.
All right, I've got that as a win. They've got Washington the next week. I could see that as a win. Then they're at Minnesota. I've got as a loss.
Okay, agreed.
They've got the Seahawks at home. I've got that as a win just because they lost Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I agree.
Then they're at New England, loss.
Yep.
At Cowboys, loss.
Yep.
Home against the Dolphins, win.
Yep.
Home against the Packers, that's my questionable one.
Loss.
At the Bears, potential win.
Yeah, I'd say that's 60-40 win.
At the Giants, I'm going to say win.
I'll say win, but that's lower confidence in the Bears game.
Yep.
Because you have two back-to-back road games.
Yes. Home against the Bills, I've got a loss.
Yep.
Home against Jacksonville, I got a win.
Correct.
Home against the Vikings, I've got a win.
Yeah.
On the road, Jets, I mean, that should be a win.
That should be a win. Yeah, that's kind of like the going to the Giants.
Right. Well,
they're going to win one of those two. They're going to win one of those two games in New York, so we'll give them the Jets win. We'll have them beat the Jets.
At the Panthers should be a win.
Ooh, I don't know.
Either way,
Baker Mayfield, Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to say it's a loss.
Loss. All right. Then home against the Bears. Win. I say they win. I say they split with the Bears. They probably split with the Packers. And then they wrap out.
That's too much credit for the Lions.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I could talk myself into the bet.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm really not trying to talk you out. I'm just a sports conversation here.
I can talk myself into it. Now that I've lost half of the audience about 20 minutes ago.
Well, yeah, that's probably about right. I'm looking at the clock.
Oh shit! All right, I love it.
Okay, well, we do have a football show coming up.
We do. We do have a
football show coming up.
Well, that'll be more college focus. So
true, but we still wander.
Yes, I love it. All right, Lab Traffic Nation.
Those who wander, not all those who wander are lost.
Yes. Before I lose more of you, make sure to follow Aaron on Twitter @RaceWeather for the updates this weekend, along with Brian Newdorf. Sir, great to catch up with you. Next week will be Newdorf. Then I'm probably taking a week off, so we'll catch you in a couple weeks, sir.
Sounds good.
All right, man.
And listeners, that was essentially, damn it, Studwell, shut up.
Look what you made me do.
Yeah, I know. Don't make me hit this little red button.
Right. All right, man. We'll catch you later.
Talk to you soon. Have a good one. Hey, have a great weekend out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you. All right, Lap Traffic Nation. Great to get Aaron back on the line right now. It is time for this week's Lucky Dog Lap Down Picks. You guys have been coming strong the last couple weeks, which is awesome. And I can't wait to see what you guys bring after this weekend at MIS. Very pumped for that. But let's see. Right now, Lucky Dog. I mean, Tyler Reddick, absolutely. Lap down, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick for obvious reasons. All right. Let's get to your tweeted responses. Scott at 1985 Wagner, Lucky Dog, Ross Chastain, P2, my fantasy pick, and Crash, no one. Lap down, 1 lap each at IMS, at Traffic Control. Only show top 10 on screen except caution and first screen lap. Not everyone can see scoring tower. DQ NASCAR, fire in pits, not a caution. Scott brought up some great things there. Absolutely love it. Brian at StormNB81, Lucky Dog, great race by Reddick. Lap down. Well, Ross tried, LOL, but failed, LOL. Beast 1624 at Beast 1624. Lucky Dog Bubba not getting penalized for doing the same thing Ross got penalized for, trying to avoid the chaos. I feel you there. Brandon at Brandon K. Carl. My lucky dog is Tyler Reddick. He out-survived all the other effing idiots out there today. My lap down, all the other effing idiots out there today. Drivers, officials, crew members, and anyone who thought this was anything resembling a good race. Oh, bringing it strong. I love it. Chris at USMC _ NASCAR Fire. Lucky Dog Tyler Reddick and the NBC broadcast. Very well done. A lap down Xfinity race for being a disappointing snooze fest for the first time in a long time, which is crazy. You know, I get the cars are different, but, you know, same track and all that provided two very different races. Chris at Chris 4WF 18. Lucky Dog Tyler Reddick, second win of the season. A lap down, the one, Ross Chastain for his access road penalty. NASCAR for not penalizing Bubba for cutting the corner. Similar incident to last year when he got penalized. And 3, NASCAR's ever-changing rulebook. You and Scott on the same page there. Dave at Real David Kahn. Lucky Dog, Ty Dillon, Kyle Larson for not being seriously hurt. My God, what a hit. That was just scary. Very, very lucky both guys were able to walk away from that one. Lap down, turn 1 caused a lot of issues for a lot of drivers, even though I enjoyed it. Eddie at Eddie _ AG3. Lucky Dog Tyler Reddick continues to be really strong on road courses. Lap down belongs to whoever spun off the track, mainly turn 1, which were plenty of them. Jason at JA Stone 29. Lucky Dog, anyone who didn't wreck on the restart. Lap down, everyone who wrecked on the restart. I love it. Jess at Iowa NASCAR fan. Lucky Dog Almendinger for winning Saturday and for fighting through the heat and dehydration on Sunday. A lap down, NASCAR needs to stop a rule at the access or needs to be a stop rule at the access roads. If there's not a rule, people are going to try that all the time. Matt at Camper News Net. Lucky Dog Tyler Reddick for a dominant weekend with the pole, win, and winning the race at Indy. A lap down, lots of chaos in turn 1, especially at the end of the race. Additional lap down for NASCAR, not calling a caution for the fire on pit road, especially that caused smoke. Mick at GoDucks5 _ Mick. Lucky Dog Tyler Reddick made all the right moves. Lap down, all the chaos. It's been a season of chaos. I love it. Rowdy at the Rowdy Dragon. A Lucky Dog. If Tyler Reddick doesn't get a DQ, congrats for their second road course victory. Lap down, the whole Harvick gang had a rough go at it. And last but not least, Scott at WA Big Gamma. Lucky Dog was Reddick for winning after dueling with an illegal Chastain car. A lap down was for IMS having a runoff that gains you an advantage. Just run the damn oval. All right. Love it. That's this week's Lucky Dog lap down picks. All right, let's close this thing out with a little lap traffic fantasy. Just a reminder, get your picks in by 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Keep the Twitter interaction up using hashtag LTFantasy. We got just 4 more race weekends to go, and we will have our playoff grid set. But joining me on the line right now, longtime follower, longtime player. You can follow him on Twitter at racing _ 64. It's John Warrington. John, what's up, man? Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Good. Hey, it's been a minute, but I'm back. I'm here.
It has been a minute. Glad to have you back, man. Let's see here. Let's start with this, then we'll get into the fantasy piece. What did you think of the Indy Road Course? You know, it's almost like plate racing. It feels like, loved it or hate it, not a lot in between.
Well, the first race I ever went to was a Brickyard 400, so the oval's got a big place in my heart.
Sure, fair enough.
And I went to 10 Brickyard 400, so something about the oval, it's hard to. I'd rather see him on the oval, but it is what it is. It definitely was not entertaining.
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean, Saturday was a little bit of a snooze fest, if you will, just compared to what we got on Sunday. But yeah, I could see both. You know, I'm glad that we're still going to Indy. I can see both sides of the story, to be honest with you. So,
and seeing those trucks back at IRP sure got the heartstrings going too. So that was amazing.
No doubt about that. That was fantastic. That was such a great race there. All right, man. Well, listen, your picks: Logano, Dinger, and Zane Smith got you week high, 122. You picked up 2 bonus points for the Dinger win plus the week high. How are you enjoying the league this year so far?
Well, I'm really enjoying it after this week. I've had a really rough second half here.
Yes, I hear you there.
At the tail end of segment 1, I had gotten my way all the way up to 5th place, and then I think about 6 weeks ago I was down in 30th. So
wow.
I've really needed this good week, and I've been coming on strong here the last couple of weeks.
You've been chipping away at it. Let's hit our top 10, segment 2. Currently in first place from Blowing the Doors Off podcast, it's Brett Morris with 10,030. Pete Curvin is in second with 1,022. David James is in third with 1,014. Mom Kim James is in fourth with 1,001. We've heard the James family on the last couple weeks. Robert Riggs in fifth with 997. Jeff at JR's Creations is in sixth with 993. Josh Rolfe in seventh with 981. Aaron Studwell in eighth with 978. DFS NASCAR guy Steven is in ninth with 971. And yours truly, the professor, is in 10th with 969. I love it. There's only what do we got? A 61-point difference between first and 10th. Not settled by any stretch. Bonus points. Kristen Hagelin in first with 15. David James with 14. Jason Dickus and Tony LeBay with 11. Brad Carnes, Brian Hall, Henry Fletcher, Justin Hughes, and Mark Luddington all have 10 bonus points, which is awesome. But now we're getting into the home stretch here. Cumulative standings, Kristen Hagelin still in first place, hasn't gone anywhere since segment 1 with 2196. Kim James in second, Studwell in third, Steven DFS NASCAR in fourth, Justin Hughes in fifth with 2093, Brett Morris in sixth, Robert Riggs in seventh, John Atwinsel in 8th, Kevin Haw in 9th, Jason Dickus 10th, Henry Fletcher 11th, David James 12th, Matt Crowd 13th, Josh Rolfe 14th, Joel Knoll 15th. John, who's in 16th?
I think that would be me.
That would be you. John, do you know by chance who's in 17th?
If my memory serves me correct, that would be you.
That would be me, yes. Let's see here. 8 points behind you, John. I am going to be coming for you just as hard. So I think you and I both just need to go and attack Joel Nolf and Josh Rolfe. Since they're not on the call this week, I can poke fun, and that way at least you and I make it. I think that's our fighting chance right now.
Yeah. So it's been very up and down. I've been as high as 5th and as low as 30th.
Yes.
And now I'm back to 16th. So.
I feel you. I feel like a couple weeks ago I was solidly in the top 5, top 10 cumulative. And last week I was 16th. I dropped a spot. And the thing is, John, I am so torn on my picks for this week. Like, do I homer out? Or do I make the smart call? And that's what I don't know what to do, since I will be at the race this weekend. So I am torn between knowledge and emotion this weekend, John. I don't know. I've got 2 names down for each, the Xfinity and Cup, and I am going to fly by the seat of my pants the second after you say who you're taking. So what do you say? Are you ready to make some picks?
I am ready.
All right, Lap Traffic Fantasy players, we are headed to my home track, the home of the Motor City. We are going to the Irish Hills of Michigan, where Ford has dominated, winning the last 7 races. Prior to that, it was Kyle Larson with Chip Ganassi when he won 3 in a row at MIS. Blaney and Harvick, both former winners at MIS, are still looking for their first win of the season. Will one of these 2 Fords get it done? Will Larson get back to victory lane in the Motor City? What about Chase Elliott? Next to him winning at Atlanta, I got to think MIS is on his list due to the number of times his dad won there. Could we see the 9 car in victory lane? Could Toyota resurface at Michigan? Who makes the Motor City proud? Who makes some noise in the Fantasy League with just 4 races left? We will find out. But first, it is time for our picks. All right, John, Xfinity Series, who are you going with?
I am going to say Josh Berry. Ooh. I haven't used him yet in this half, and I've used it kind of all my other heavy hitters, so I'm going to go with the Josh Berry here. JRM, they've won how many different oval segments in a row, so hopefully he can get one or two of them and get me some points too. So
John,
I'm gonna go Josh Berry.
John, Josh was one of the two I had written down. So do I go with him and see if I can beat you on Cup, or do I try to beat you in Xfinity, John? I have questions. I tell you what, I am gonna go with Josh Berry. I'm gonna keep my Josh Berry. My other pick was Landon Castle, but I'm John. I got to do it. I got to stick with Josh as well for the Xfinity series. But I'm gonna guess we've got different Cup picks. Who are you rolling with? Sunday Firekeeper 400 at MIS. Who do you got?
Well, I'm gonna go with the guy that you mentioned earlier, who's got 3 straight wins here. At one point, he won 4 straight 2-mile tracks, and he won the other 2-mile race earlier this year, and that's going to be Kyle Larson.
John, you and I were on the same page. So Larson was one of my 2 picks, but since I said I'm going to go different, I will homer it out, and I am going to go with the 4 of Kevin Harvick to see if we can't find some speed in that 4 car and get back to victory lane. So I'll go with the 4 of Kevin Harvick this weekend. All right. Well, sir, that was fun. Best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again down the road, man.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, man. We'll see ya.
Yep.
All right, Lap Traffic Nation, that is going to do it for episode 287 of the Lap Traffic Podcast. Make sure you check out the website, thelaptrafficpodcast.com. Make sure you follow on Twitter at LapTrafficPC. Huge thanks to Jeff Striegle, Gus Dean, Aaron Studwell, John Warrington for calling into the show this week. And come and say hi to me at Firekeepers or at the racetrack. I will be there Saturday and Sunday. Hit me up on Twitter. If you've got my cell, which a lot of you do, shoot me a text. Let me know. Let's coordinate something. Don't get caught chasing the lucky dog. Tune in each and every week to the Lap Traffic Podcast. See ya!